a decade, it was one of the biggest mysteries in crypto. Who stole 50,000 bitcoins, which would ultimately be worth more than $3 billion, from a dark web site called the Silk Road? No one knew until the man behind the crime made a costly mistake. Now a new CNBC documentary, Crypto 911, exposing a Bitcoin billionaire, provides never-before-seen footage and the story behind one of the biggest heists in history.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Support this great content by hitting the cash app and by joining the Patreon.
And guys, CNBC does it again. The heist of 50,000 Bitcoin, and he only gets 1 year and 1 day. Yes, you heard that correct. Anyone would sign up for that. You get 1 year in jail for stealing $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion. Yes, it sounds like a movie. Remember, guys, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you.
What about Putin being there in China right now? I mean, what should we be paying attention to from a market and economic perspective when you have a leader like Putin there with Xi Jinping?
Well, I'll tell you, right now, China is Russia's main lifeline, and Putin is getting the red carpet rolled out for him. But I think just underneath the surface, there's one person on that delegation that I think we should pay attention to, and that's Alexei Miller from Gazprom. So, as you'll know, Russia has been desperate to get the Chinese to approve Power of Siberia 2, this gas pipeline running out of Russia into China. We thought we would get an announcement when Xi visited Moscow. The Chinese have been holding that back. Perhaps there's leverage, perhaps there's something there, but I think we should consider a lot of discussions happening while Putin is on the ground about trying to get Power of Siberia 2 up and running. I don't think that there'll be an announcement during this trip, but certainly his presence caught my attention.
China to Apple supply chain, that's received a lot of focus here, but Cook's recent visit, which he said was a surprise, that really underscores the importance of Chinese demand. Now, Cook went to an Apple store in Chengdu during a Tencent gaming tournament. So he brought attention to the new iPhone 15 that at a time when early indications are telling us that it may not be selling as well as the 14. And he also, in this way, brings attention to Apple's services economy. This is where the growth is supposed to come from. Remember, Tencent, it is the huge Chinese gaming giant. It's one of the biggest app store earners on the App Store itself. So it's key to that ecosystem that's trying to go beyond just iPhone sales. Now, the timing itself, Kelly, it was awkward. It comes as the U.S. ramps up chip sanctions, something we've been talking about today. And this is a point, I will say, that probably wasn't lost on Cook either. He was posting a ton on Weibo, that is China's big social media platform, and he was careful not to post on X, formerly known as Twitter. It was funny, I was comparing the two platforms today, and he posts everything on Weibo.
Biden in Israel is Putin is in Beijing with Xi about Belt and Road. So the changing international world order, something we're all trying to figure out.
With respect to BRI, listen, I think that we know that this is an initiative that was very much dear to Xi Jinping and his desire to really sort of show China's influence. And a lot of that over the last 10 years was in sort of old infrastructure, roads, rail, bridges, ports. But I think the real question is, what's the next act? And what I'm looking for is, what is China going to do to retool the Belt and Road Initiative around green tech and new energy infrastructure and supply chains that control critical minerals at the source, perhaps invest in processing on site where they're digging some of those minerals. And look, the U.S. is behind the 8 ball when it comes to a lot of the sort of critical mineral infrastructure and the green tech, and China is going to press advantage there, and I think we're gonna see that. Look, they've gotten really good at building EV infrastructure in China. What better way to juice their own automobiles in third markets than to go in some of these places under a retrofitted BRI and start to build EV infrastructure there that BYD and Xpeng and NIO can use to sell their automobiles. So, I think the U.S. government is going to have to get really serious here about what we do in the critical mineral and the green technology space, because China sees advantage.
Well, the United States for generations has been the arsenal of democracy. The Reagan doctrine, of course, is to support allies and partners who are seeking to defend freedom and expand freedom in the world. That requires the President of the United States to stand with moral clarity. President Biden has done that to date. And it also requires the U.S. Congress to support that president. And without a Speaker of the House, we're not going to be able to give support to our allies and partners and friends who rely on the United States' clarity and support and vision.
There have been no events that disrupt the Middle Eastern production. So, that's been a blessing. But, who knows how long that goes on. You've got a very unstable region with Hamas, with the Iranians, with other bad actors in that area that could disrupt the production very quickly.
And we have Putin in Beijing. And guys, normally when you hear the drums are beating, normally the leaders stay put. They don't even go anywhere. But guys, remember, these drums are beating in the movie, so they can fly anywhere they please. And remember, guys, all these distractions are for the Belt and Road. It's for the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which China, the BRICS nations, including Russia, are going to lead. Like I tell you, all you have to do is look up all the countries that are involved in the Belt and Road, and we know the United States is looking on the outside because you're witnessing the fall of America to Babylon and the rise of China, the dragon, along with that digital yuan. And we have Tim Cook in China again. And all of our big corporations and big banks are setting up for China and India because they have the most growth. Remember, they're going to be taking the poor and moving them up to the middle class. The same way they did the United States, guys. The only thing you have to do is do your research. And yes, it took about 40 years, but in the Fourth Industrial Revolution, where nothing is real, they'll be able to do it in about 5. Remember, they'll be able to airdrop that free money, but it will be programmable, telling you what, where, and when and how to buy. And you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have Biden and Xi playing the Hegelian dialectic when it comes to these chips, but they both have the same plan. But the two sides have to be created in order for America to fall along with the world reserve currency. And I told you we would get a main event in the fourth quarter. Now we have the drums are beating. We're going to have event after event. Now we don't have a speaker with a government shutdown looming. And don't forget all the strikes that we have going on. Remember, guys, we're in a fragmented world. And we know they're pushing the clean energy. So something's going to happen when it comes to energy to force us over. We know how the NWO works. They are the master magicians. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity, and as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate. Not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.